Welcome to the Rugby Obsession Deep Dive. Before we really get going today, make sure to subscribe to the Rugby Obsession YouTube channel and newsletter from the link in description.
Yeah, you definitely want to be subscribed for this one.
Exactly. So today, we are looking at the current state of the South African Springboks, right ahead of their 2026 season. And we've got some incredible insights from a highly detailed injury and fixture report by Craig Lewis over at the South African.
It is a fantastic report, really lays out the whole picture.
It really does. And the hook here is just wild. The Springboks are heading into this unprecedented, completely jam-packed 13-match schedule, but they are currently staggering under the weight of this massive injury list. So, okay, let's unpack this.
Right, because before we can even look at that shiny new schedule, we really have to look at the guys doing the heavy lifting, you know?
Right, the foundation. And right now, that foundation is severely cracked. I mean, let's start with the front row.
Yeah, the props are in a tough spot.
Right. Franz Mallarbe has back and neck issues. He's out till later this year. And Trevor Nyakane is facing this lengthy, unconfirmed spell on the sidelines, too.
Which is a huge blow to their scrum.
Huge. And it's not just the props. Bongi Mbonambi at hooker is actually missing the initial test window due to a domestic campaign injury.
Yeah, that timing is just brutal for the squad.
It is. And then you look at the locks. The devastating loss of RG Snyman. I mean, he ruptured his ACL and is out for the entire 2026 season.
Oh, man, losing Snyman is just mass.
Yeah, plus Lou Dieger had hip surgery. He's maybe back in August. Eben Etzebeth is managing a hip injury, hoping for July. And Salman Morad is nearing a return, but he's coming off toe surgery.
It is honestly like looking at a fortress where someone just came in and removed all the load-bearing walls.
That's exactly it. So with so many big men dealing with joint and structural issues, like hips and backs and knees, how does a coach even begin to patch a wall with this many holes?
Well, what's fascinating here is that this isn't just bad luck. It really highlights the immense, brutal, physical toll the modern game takes on the tight five.
Right. It's just so punishing.
It is.
Yeah.
And because of these injuries, Rassie Erasmus basically has no choice but to test out these completely untested combinations really early in the season.
Which is risky, but I guess it forces innovation, right?
Exactly. It forces young guys to step up, but it definitely shifts the pressure.
And speaking of pressure, let's move from the tight five to the loose forwards. Because they're the guys who connect that brute force to the rest of the team, right?
Yeah, the loose forwards are essentially the engine room and the core leadership group.
But that engine room is practically empty right now.
Oh.
Ruben Venter had severe knee surgery. He's out for 6 to 9 months, so he's missing the whole 2026 test season.
Which is just a tragedy for him personally.
It really is. And then you have Peter Steph du Toit recovering from shoulder surgery, hoping for a late May or early June return. And Kolisi is managing a calf strain, also expected back in early June.
And Kolisi and du Toit are just the heartbeat of this squad.
They absolutely are. But I have to ask about these timelines. It's one thing to be expected back in June, but is there a massive difference between getting medical clearance and actually having international match fitness?
Oh, there is an astronomical difference, yeah. Being medically cleared just means your tissue won't tear under normal strain.
Right.
But surviving the physical onslaught of test rugby, that requires anaerobic endurance under extreme contact fatigue. You can't replicate that in a gym.
Wow, so they are really racing the clock.
They are, but the silver lining here is that those early June timelines mean Kolisi and du Toit are pushing hard to be ready just in time for the season kickoff against the Barbarians.
Which is going to be a crucial testing ground. Real quick, if you are finding this breakdown as fascinating as we are, please subscribe to the Rugby Obsession YouTube channel and newsletter from the link in description. We'd love to hear your thoughts on how Rassie should manage this forward pack in the comments.
Yeah, definitely drop a comment. The tactical side of this is just wild.
It really is. So we've talked about the battered forwards, but even if they manage to secure the ball, the back line, the guys who distribute it, are basically all in the hospital too.
Yeah, the tactical void right now is pretty concerning.
Let's look at the scrum halves. Mornay Vandenberg tore his bicep. He's out 4 to 6 months. Cobus Ryanak has a knee issue, maybe back in July. Grant Williams has an ongoing injury with no confirmed return date.
Just a complete decimation of the position.
Right. And here's where it gets really interesting. Jaden Hendricks has actually stood down indefinitely under concussion protocols because of repeated head knocks.
Yeah, and this raises an important question about player welfare in the modern game.
It's like having a football team with no offensive line. But right now, South Africa doesn't even have any quarterbacks.
Exactly. But with Hendricks standing him down indefinitely despite the severe shortage of scrum halves, It shows a real prioritization of long-term health over immediate tactical needs.
Which is so important to see, honestly.
It really is. It's a crucial moment for how rugby handles head injuries now.
Absolutely. And to make things worse out wide, Ethan Hooker dislocated his shoulder out till late July or August, and Afolaye Fassi had shoulder surgery, hoping for mid to late June.
So the entire distribution network is just compromised.
Completely. And this ties everything together because why is this specific moment so critical? It's not just a bad injury list, it's happening right before one of the most grueling schedules in rugby history.
Yeah, the 2026 Crucible, it is incredibly daunting.
Let's just reel off these fixtures. June 20th, they kick off against the Barbarians in Crèvecoeur. Then in July, it's the Nations Championship against England, Scotland, and Wales.
Which is an incredibly physical stretch right there.
Just brutal. But then we get the massive rugby's greatest rivalry, a staggering 4 matches against the All Blacks.
4 matches in a row, it's almost unheard of.
Yeah, 2 in Johannesburg, 1 in Cape Town. And then get this, an expected historic clash in Baltimore in the USA in September.
The logistics of that alone are just mind-boggling.
Right. Imagine the jet lag. But they aren't done. Then a quick trip to Perth to play the Wallabies in late September. And then the end-of-year tour in November against Italy, France in Paris, Ireland in Dublin, and the finals weekend in London.
It is a gauntlet.
It's a 13-match gauntlet. So what does this all mean? Is this schedule actually a blessing in disguise that forces Erasmus to build the deepest squad in history?
Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture, using an extended squad isn't just a luxury for Rassie anymore. It is a sheer survival tactic.
Because you can't play the same 23 guys through all that.
Exactly. Navigating a 4-test series against the All Blacks, including that jump to the U.S. and then a massive European tour, you are going to need 40 to 50 test-ready players.
So this injury crisis is practically birthing the next generation of Springboks out of pure necessity.
Yes. The young guys are going to have to step up and learn how to win on the biggest stages right away. It's trial by fire.
Which is so exciting to think about, really.
It is. It's a massive opportunity hidden inside a crisis.
So just to recap for you all, the Springboks are heading into this groundbreaking, globe-trotting 2026 season with a squad that is currently very battered and bruised.
Very bruised.
But, as we know with Rassie Erasmus's camp, crisis often breeds innovation and forces new, amazing talent to step up.
It absolutely does. And it leaves me with this final thought for you to ponder. Looking at a calendar with 13 ruling international tests, including 4 wars against New Zealand and intercontinental travel to the US, Australia, and Europe.
It's exhausting just saying it.
Right. Are we finally witnessing the absolute physical limit of what a single human body can endure in a calendar year of professional rugby?
Man, that is a wild question to end on, but it is so true. We'd love to hear your thoughts on that in the comments below. And please subscribe to the Rugby Obsession YouTube channel and newsletter from the link in description. Thank you for listening to the Rugby Obsession Deep Dive, and we'll look forward to you listening to our next Deep Dive.